Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Do this now. You guys are going to read page 463 and notice that it describes a lab procedure.
I think it's only...
From here, this is the first section, and then you're going to read the second section all the way to there.
Yep.
Okay.
So stop the video, do that now, and we'll come back.
All right, you're done, right? Okay, you've read that page. It's really important that you read it, okay? You're gonna have to eventually. Okay, so a little bit of review. Opposite charges produce a force of attraction, and same charges experience a force of repulsion.
Yep. Opposites attract, like charges repel.
One positive charge cancels out one negative charge. So an electron plus a proton gives you neutral.
Yep.
All right, normal atoms are neutral and have the same number of protons as electrons. So they all cancel each other out.
This is important review.
It is important. If you're feeling confident, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know what's going on, watch the last video again.
It'll get better today.
It will get better today. When electrons move from one object to another, both become charged. This is really important.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
The thing that loses, what? Is that the next slide?
No, it's not.
Okay, when the electrons leave someplace, there's not enough electrons, it's positively charged. The place they go to, there are more electrons, it's negatively charged. So they
Okay.
both objects become
So
charged.
one becomes positive, one becomes negative. More negative, one has more electrons. Okay, so now you are going to go back to that page 463, and you're going to use that to help you in your notebook write out a procedure. So there was a lab going on in what you read,
Yeah.
and you're going to go back out and you're going to write out what that lab told you to do.
It involves tape. Now here's the thing. Don't write down every stinking word. Blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. Please don't.
Okay, make it, abbreviate
Show
it,
them
make it
the
short.
scaffold.
Okay, oh yeah, use this to help you, okay? So you're gonna have two parts to this procedure, part one and part two. The first part is gonna be about like charges,
Yep.
just like in the book.
What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? And leave space for your observation.
Yep.
The second part is gonna be about opposite charges, just like in the book. Write what you're gonna do and leave space for an observation.
So take the time, stop the video, do that now.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have tape at home, you should do this, and you could do it with me. So if you've got some tape, pause the video. Okay. So the first one is, I'm gonna go ahead and make the little handle thing here.
Just fold the tape over.
Fold that tape over. I'm gonna put it on the desk. Right there.
Yeah.
Little handles there for me to grab it. Okay. Okay, I'll make my handle here. Get over. Oh, this one's a little bit shorter. Whoops. These things happen.
These things happen.
Okay.
Now,
So
let's see, what are you supposed to do with it?
I'm supposed to pull the strips off the table and then put them near each other.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. And as I put them near each other,
Well, they repel.
look at that. I'm trying. Get together. No, nothing.
They repel each other.
They repel each other. They sure do. Okay.
You
So
know
that was
what?
my first.
You
yeah.
could, okay, and then the second one, you could put that second tape on top of the first.
I was wondering because when we did it the first time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this tape over here on the top of the second one.
Okay, because that's the opposite charge.
So I've stuck two strips together, and then I'm gonna pull them up. Actually, know what I gotta do? Sorry.
You got to pull. No,
I'm gonna put the handles with each other. So
Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay, so when I first pick them up, they're gonna be kind of. I gotta wipe the electrodes off because they're charged when I take them off, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's what it says, and so it's not attracting to your hand
Oh.
anymore.
Okay, so now I'm gonna take them up. I'm gonna rip them apart here. Okay. Oh.
Oh,
And what do we have?
doesn't matter what. That's attraction.
That's attraction. Okay. And so they are each attracted to each other.
So,
Bada boom.
now you've got some observations.
Yeah, so you've got some observations.
Take a moment and write those up. We probably should have stopped and had them. Well,
No, we're good.
they can run the video back and
Yeah.
record their observations.
Yeah. So here's what we did. Let's talk about what we did here. So for the first trial
Yeah.
part procedure.
First paragraph.
The first paragraph. You pulled 2 strips of the tape off the table and put them near each other. Now we were doing the same thing,
Yep.
right? And so
They
we
both
ripped
had
them
the same
off,
situation.
Same
So
situation. And so what did we observe here? Did they attract or repel?
they repelled.
They repelled. We did the same exact thing. We had the same situation, and so those pieces of tape had the same charges on
Yep.
them. And so we know that the same things are going to repel, and so that's what we saw there.
Yep.
Okay. 1B, did the tape pieces have the same or the opposite charges? We just answered this.
Well, they repelled.
Yeah, so they had the same.
All right.
Okay. Part 2. Okay, so then we stuck the 2 strips of tape together, one on top of the other.
Yeah.
And then we picked them up, neutralized them, and then we pulled them apart.
Yeah.
When you put them near each other, did they attract or repel? Well, they attracted,
They attracted.
right? And so did the tape pieces have the same or opposite charges? Well, if they're attracted, that means they've got opposite charges.
Simple, yes?
Yeah. So, and why, Miss Moore? Why? It comes back to this guy right here.
Yep. Both become charged.
Mm-hmm. One was positive, one was negative, and they become attracted to each other. Okay. So attraction and repulsion are forces.
So when it's asked what kind of force, the answer is either going to be attraction or repulsion.
Opposite charges produce a force of attraction,
Yep.
while same charges experience a force of repulsion.
Yep. It's simple.
It's simple, okay? So you guys, this is gonna be another YouTube video for you to watch. I will embed it in here, and I will put it at the bottom below, so you can choose how you want to watch it.
And there'll be a study sheet to go with it.
Yes, yes. And so you can either just keep watching the video or go below. Okay. So now that you've watched the video, you watched the video, right? Let's talk about static electricity. So what the heck is it? When an electron is placed on an insulator, it stays where it is.
Yep.
Right? However, when electrons are placed on a conductor, they move around to get as far apart as possible from each other.
So the whole thing about static electricity is we're talking about insulators, how static electricity stays on an insulator. For example, this balloon right here is an insulator. And we rubbed some electrons off of a shirt onto that balloon. They stayed where they are.
Right?
And
Staying
static
put.
means stationary.
Uh-oh. Okay. I think we're good here, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to see an example of a conductor here in a second. Charging by conduction. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so charging by conduction. This happens when a charged object touches an uncharged object and transfers electrons.
And we saw this in the video, and we've got an electroscope right over here.
Okay, shall we play with it?
Yeah, and use here's the electroscope.
This one? Okay.
And what you've got is a rod on the top. Let's turn it around like this.
Easier to see.
Got a rod on the top that is metal, a metal ball,
Conductor.
metal rod that goes down, and these 2 leaves are free to move. They're also metal.
Okay. And it says charging by conduction happens when a charged object touches an uncharged. So right now this is uncharged, right?
It's uncharged. Those leaves are hanging down by gravity.
So let me go ahead and charge this bad boy.
Okay, PVC pipe.
Whoa. I actually I heard the
Snap.
snap, okay.
Like a little lightning bolt. Okay, so
Okay, so charged to uncharged, and the electrons flow through, transfers
So
it,
the
right?
electrons came off of the pipe and were rubbed onto the ball.
And
then-
they've gone into both of the leaves. Is that what you call them?
they've covered. What they do is they try to get as far away from each other as they possibly can. And so since it's a conductor, there are electrons up here, electrons here, electrons down here. These are the only things that are free remove. So there's a force of repulsion
Where's the repulsion?
that pushes them apart.
Okay, so how do we change this? Okay, so grounding. Electrons move into or out of a large reservoir of charge, the Earth or you. Okay, so what does this look like?
Well, you are a large reservoir of charge. What happens when you touch the?
Ah.
Okay, so what just happened is there's no force of repulsion holding them up. That's because the electrons had a place to escape.
To me, right?
They're repelled away from each other, and
So the electrons are moving away from here and into me. I'm the reservoir.
yep.
Okay, so that's what we call grounding. Never mind. Okay. All right. So here is a image of what we just did. Okay, this is our electroscope, and
When you charge it over here, these were reversed.
yeah,
There's a
so you
charged
reverse.
object,
Oh, and you can't really see it very well, but they
move apart.
They repel each other because
and
electrons.
then when you touch it,
they come back together.
yeah,
Sweet. Okay.
and that's it. I think.
And why we include this picture because today it's pretty dry, but in the past it's been kind of rainy or wet on these days.
Yeah, when
and
it's wet,
they don't-
static electricity things don't work as well.
Yeah, they don't work as well. So these things happen. Okay, so why does a negatively charged balloon stick to a neutral wall?
That's a question we're going to have to answer over the next couple of days.
Okay, so you guys don't have any homework. You're just gonna watch that video, which you should have already watched already, and
Make
answer
sure you
that.
understand all the stuff we've done today.
Mhm.
Sweet.